In today's session, I want to talk about something really practical and something that you can implement and get results within weeks. And this is the practice that I do after being in identity work and doing it with hundreds and hundreds of people. What I do now and how I get results so much faster, literally within weeks. And I really want to help you understand, why is it that some of the things we manifest so fast, so easy, you say it, it happens, and others, it doesn't? What is going on? And why none of that is about being happy or being sad or being high vibe, right? This session is going to be really powerful. When it comes to manifesting things immediately, or they take some time, what we want to understand is that everything already exists now. Right now, everything is already there. The things that you want, which are not in your physical reality, are the ones that you are not a vibrational match for right now. So you are right now vibrationally not aligned to those things. That means they're not natural for you. They're not normal for you. That's not what you really conscious of being. And the other things that you manifest straight away is because you think they are normal. You expect them, right? The gap between the things you really desire and the things that take longer is literally the identity shift, nothing else. Identity shift. Now, how does it work in real time? How does it work when you're living your day-to-day life? How does it work when you actually want something and you're like, it's I'm not getting it, I'm pushing more, or you find the resistance? I want to share a very recent example of how I've done this and literally collapsed at least a decade of my life by doing this, literally a decade. When we, as many of you have started our corporate business, right, where we help executive CEOs with identity shift for AI, right? You need identity shift for everything, right? Really helping them and their teams shift their identity when it comes to maximizing AI and the peak performance and all of that. Now, what was happening was, when I was in corporate in my last career, I was a manager. And now when I was going back, I was talking to executives and CEOs, like so many levels up. And if you think of like really big companies, largest banks in London, huge multinational companies, Fortune 500, like huge roles, right? But I found myself a little bit feeling like, oh my God, this is a huge jump for me. I would never, in my previous role, imagine to speak to those people directly and pitch, not even speak, like tell them why they need it and all of that. Like, oh, this is a big jump, right? And I came back to my own teachings of identity shift and how I shifted it in 3 weeks, which is really powerful. What I did was I started to think, oh, this seems big. And if I go from the normal route, not the identity shift, but the normal route, it would take me 5-6 years to feel that I'm ready to pitch to them. And the approach could be that I really talk to small companies, the companies that feel comfortable, and then go to these big companies when I feel I'm ready, when I feel I am that level. Or I can just collapse time and go and do the identity shift. I said, now the first thing what you want to notice is the outside experience. And this is a very important step. Instead of just not being aware and just fighting and pushing, I could have done that. I could have constantly pushed and felt the resistance, not being able to reach out, having that fear, not being able to postpone it, procrastinate it, or even do it, but with the assumption it's not going to work. Or I can become aware and say that, look, there is a gap to collapse time, right? Here it requires identity shift. I feel the discomfort, and being aware that it's not what I would love for it to be, right? I'm not just able to go to them and talk to them and they say to me, yes, go ahead, right? Because that's what you would love. Even if you have the confidence to go and pitch to them, if they don't say, yes, I need this, or I would love this, you're not really getting the results. And one thing is you can push and push and push, or the other thing is you can go within. Anytime you experience in life where you're like, it's going slow, it's not as good, I would love for it to be different, the first human inclination is to push and push, but the fastest way and the most efficient way is to go within. That's what I did. I went within and I said, first of all, what is going on, the awareness, which I just shared with you guys. And then what would I love instead? What would I love? Where your identity is like a address in your mind. You're setting that address for your subconscious to shoot at. We have a powerful success mechanism within us, and that success mechanism is constantly targeting, shooting at something. Like the rocket, when you program it, it shoots to the moon, and it knows it's supposed to go to the moon, and it's shooting to the moon. We are constantly shooting at a target, whether we know it or not. When it comes to a drug addict or a homeless person, they are also shooting a target. The only problem is their target is drug addiction, right? So every human on this planet, every single human is shooting to a target. And that target they're shooting to is they're subconsciously shooting to a target. Even when they try to discipline themselves, when they try to force things, when they try to change the way they work, subconsciously, until they change the target, they will subconsciously shoot to the target. That's where the procrastination comes. That's where you set the alarm, you don't wake up. That's where you know what to do and you don't do it. That's where the knowing and doing gap. You are constantly shooting to a target. And what we want to understand is that if you change the target, you will shoot at a different target. And your success mechanism, your subconscious mind and your nervous system, which makes this success mechanism, your subconscious, your nervous system, they are shooting towards it. Now, you cannot just change anything without changing the target. You cannot, right? When we try to put the conscious effort, pushing, forcing, you're going against the system that you're programmed at. You're going against your success system. The whole reason psychologists call it success system is because it's meant to help you shoot to the target that you want. The only real problem that you have right now is that you're not shooting to the target you want. Just change the target. Don't fight the system. Don't try to overpass it. Don't try to override it. It's not going to work. It controls you 98%. What I realized was that if I change the target, my system will shoot it there. And I will attract, based on the law of attraction, whatever I require to manifest that. Also, I will act because I'll change the target, but I'll also vibrate on that frequency because that target also controls how you think, how you feel, how you act. So it also controls how you feel, how you think. It will change that, and it will change my attraction point. I said, what would I love? This question, what would I absolutely love? And what I would love is that this was my phrase, a ridiculously crazy phrase, but I wanted to choose it. I wanted to have it because I know whatever target that I keep, I get to have it. So why not? Right? I said my target is within few seconds of me opening my mouth, they say, I need this. They say, I need what they have got. I need this. And I said, I would love to manifest that reality. That the moment I tell them what they do, they ask me, what do you do? And I tell them, because if I keep hearing that, I will have even more confidence. I'll always know. And now I expect this because it always happens. Then the question was, what do I need to believe? Now, because you cannot change your identity, you cannot change your being and your beliefs. Being and beliefs make up your identity till you know what it is right now. What I had right now was, I was just a manager. I wasn't talking to these people. Why would they want my work? All those things, right? I started to become aware. I wrote them down and I shifted them. So I had quite a few. I was like, oh my God, they seem so overwhelming. They know so much. I may not know. They're at vice president, CEO, CFO. They might know more than me and all of that. And I wrote all the things that came up, right? And then I started to really coach myself and question and say, according to who they know so much, they have a problem, okay, that they need help with adoption. According to the facts, and you really need logic there, 87% of the projects are failing in the corporate because of the mindset piece. They have a problem and I'm the best person to solve the problem. So now I'm training myself based on law of compensation, what I talked about in the last session. Law of compensation says there is a demand for what you do. I train myself to believe with the facts and with questioning my current belief system, there is a demand. I said, according to who? That they wouldn't need what I do. Now, when I did that, then I said, now I have to, the second part is my capability to do that. According to who, I'm not good at doing that. I have done it for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, not at a team's level, but with individual entrepreneurs and individual people. I'm so good. So you have to logically first do that, and then you have to really embody the feeling that I am world class at what I do. I'm so good at this, right? And you have to really embody that identity. And when I did that, something crazy started to happen. We started to get this thing that the way we are saying our thing doesn't make sense, and we switched it. We switched it and it didn't work. When we pitched again, when we told people in the events and the networking, it didn't work. We changed it again and it landed. Right? Now, why did our actions change? Our actions change because we are setting the right target. Now, here is the most important part we want to understand, that when your success system is shooting at the target, whatever you set, sometimes it can make mistakes. Sometimes the rocket can go zig or zag, but your subconscious mind corrects it. The system in the rocket corrects it and say, you're going a bit further. You have to come back. You can make mistakes. It's okay. But if you set the right target by first becoming aware of your current identity, right? First noticing what's happening, what do you want to change? If you're like, I want to be the greatest investor, right? Then what is the identity you want to take? What is your current experience? Your current experience is a mirror to showing you what is your current identity. It's nothing but a mirror. It's literally a mirror. You see in the mirror and you're like, okay, I would love for the mirror to shift that. But instead of changing the mirror, trying to fight with the mirror, pushing the mirror, go with it and change the reflection. That's what we do with the identity. You become aware, you say, what would I absolutely love? The ridiculous thing that I would love, go all ridiculous, go all in. What is my current identity? And what do I need to shift? When I shifted that, and then I started, we got this really good angle, and then we went to a really 7-day event, and every time we would go there, and this happened within weeks, not even 3 weeks, to be honest. It happened really, really fast. And when we set that angle, they said, oh my God, I need this. Whoever we spoke to from that place, like in different firms, in different positions, in different industries, they were like, oh my God, we need this. And I was quite not shocked, because I know it always worked, but quite pleased that you can either hustle your way, you can get it wrong so many times and takes years to get to that place where you're like, you know what, I'm really good at this, or you can get the shortcut of identity shift. So identity shift is the shortcut, but it's not just about affirmations. It's not that you can just say, I'm so good at what I do. And you have to first uncover what is your current identity, change it at a logical level and at an emotional level, and then embody a new identity. And your current reality is just reflecting what is in your current identity. This piece is really important, that you have to first look at the experience, and instead of fighting it, instead of getting emotionally involved with it and creating more of the same, because that's what we do, instead of pushing it or trying to change it, or instead of thinking why it's not working, because your reality is just showing you your identity. What I do is I keep a tracker with me, which I've also shared in the Wealth Fountain sessions, which I constantly update with my identities that I'm shifting. And the moment I see my current reality change, which changes really fast because of this practice, I take it off and I'm like, I've done this one. This has been shifted. Now, there is a very powerful way to shortcut this even more. And that's why I'm saying it works really, really fast. And the way is that when you choose the new identity, you go in your imagination and you start imagining what it is, what it feels like. You start seeing yourself that way. You start changing the logic, showing yourself all the ways that your current identity is not really the right one. It's not supporting it. And then when you get on the feeling stage, you don't wait for, usually I used to say wait for 1 week. Now, if you want to do it really fast, what I found is the fastest way, you take aligned action. When you take the first aligned action, it works, right? What aligned action did I took? I said, how would I feel and how would I present myself and how would I network if I knew, and if I absolutely knew that what I say and my work is needed. And within a few minutes of my introduction, they would say, I need this, right? How would I approach this situation? How would I approach those people? How would I show up? Did I know how would I do that? No, because it never happened before, right? It happened like rarely. So I didn't know that feeling when every single time we go and they're like, I need this, I really need this, right? How would I feel? How would I show up? How would I say? How would my energy be? How did I practice that? In my imagination. Your imagination is the most beautiful practice ground, because the beauty is that there is no limit to what you want to imagine. In real life, if you want to practice something, you may not have that. You may not know how to do that. You may not have the right environment, but your imagination, it's your workshop of your mind. So you can create the right environment. You can create the right picture. You can create all the things, how you show up, how you are. And then what you do is you take that energy and you take that embodiment in your physical reality, which is a bit of stretch. Of course, it's a stretch because you just decided and you're doing it. But when you do that, you give a very powerful message to your subconscious mind that I am being this. And then the gap between vision and being just shrinks, collapses, and your outer reality changes. So then what started to happen was we would go anywhere and we would tell people and they would be like, yes, I really need this. I really need this. And when it keeps happening, the whole thing gets reinforced. Now I know whenever I'll go and I'll say it, that's what I'm going to hear. I know it always works. You can do this with any identity. If you want to be really good at creating money passively by really spending less time, spending equal to minimum time, right? You can take on that identity. But then the question is, what part of you currently, what identity that you hold now that doesn't support that? And the identity that you hold now is based on your past. It's not your truth. It's based on the data that you have fed your mind in the past or until now. When you want to choose that, you have to move first. You cannot say, this I see it all the time. I will do it when. When what? When you're not on the right identity, you're not vibrating on the right frequency. How can you say when you're not even on the right frequency and you won't attract things on that frequency? What you want is here. If you are saying, I'll do that when, you are here, and that when will never come. You have to decide first. And if you decide and it doesn't come straight away, it should come straight away. There is no waiting. And if it doesn't come straight away, there is an identity mismatch. There is an identity mismatch. Let's not get emotionally involved with the feedback. I used to study with Bob, and Bob Proctor used to say that when you make a decision, when you make a committed decision, you get on the frequency of what you desire, right? You get on the frequency of what you desire. Now, the thing is, you can decide, right? And a lot of times people come to me and say to me, what do you mean decide? Like, of course I want it. I have decided it. Of course I am deciding it. I have decided it a long time ago. It's what is decision? Decision is being. Decision is you be it. You are deciding through embodiment. You cannot just decide from wanting it because that's a fantasy. You have decided to fantasize. You decided by being it. Was it uncomfortable for me to walk in those rooms with full conviction? Of course. Was it uncomfortable for me to say so confidently with the knowing that they need it when I didn't see the proof as much before? Absolutely. But how did I close the discomfort? By practicing it in my imagination, because my imagination and your imagination are your truth. That reality already exists in a dimension and you can access it through your imagination. You have got like this tool which has got access to all the dimensions. Isn't it crazy? Which has got access to every single dimension possible. You have got this frequency, it's a connection, it's a It's a connection that you have got, the signals to all the dimensions. You use that, you tap into that dimension, and you collapse time. And if we are not doing the identity work, we are just feeling good, we are imagining, we are just doing those things, we are not shifting the being, we are not collapsing time. We're just fantasizing. The moment from vision you be it, you have jumped. You have jumped in the pool. That's when you are deciding that I am it. The collapsing time and what you see in your reality is a reflection of who you are being at that time. And you can do that in your imagination. And you can bring that vision in your being then. Because the more you imagine, you're also changing the destination for your success system. When you're imagining, you're telling your success system, I'm changing the code. But then if you don't be it, then there is a gap. You've changed the code, but you're not it. There is a resistance. If I don't be it, right? If I don't show up as that person, let's say I keep imagining, I keep wanting, I keep setting the frequency, I feel it, I see it, but I'm not being it. So every time I enter there, I'm not really saying what I do. I'm not that confident. I'm not really sure. I don't think it's worth going. I procrastinate. I just change the conversation. I don't even go to those people because it's so scary. Then there is a gap between being. What I'm saying is I'm not ready. What I'm saying is I'm not a match. What I'm saying is I want it, but I haven't decided that I am going for it. Being is when the shift happens. That's why I love this formula, be it now. Be it now. Because when you be it now, everything shifts. If you feel that the things have shifted, but you would love for it to be faster, be it faster. Be more of who you are, right? And use your imagination to create the vision of that version of you. Because the truth is, we don't know. We have not experienced that reality in our physical, and we don't have become that version in our physical before because it hasn't happened in the physical. How do you access that? Through this powerful thing, your godlike feature, which has got signals to all the dimensions. It doesn't need Wi-Fi. It doesn't need network connection. It just needs you and your imagination. And you go there, you see it, and then you bring that energy and you be it. You go crazy. You make the bold move. You walk the bold way. You walk with full conviction and full confidence. You walk. You say those things. You be those things, and that's when you have told God or universe that I have jumped all in, and then there is no question of doubt because you are it. You can't undo what you are. You've just jumped. That's when things happen fast. If you find that anything is taking longer, there is no delays. Everything in this universe works precisely with microsecond, nanosecond. The planets, the sun, everything is working perfectly fine, precise timings. The only thing is the being. And you can look at different aspects of your personality and you can say, I'm finding resistance there, or I'm finding delays there, or I'm finding that I'm pushing there. I'm finding, even if you find yourself working hard for something and you're like, it's exhausting me. It's not joyful. It's not great. It's push. There's a gap in the being. Instead of pushing, let's not change the mirror. It's not going to change. Let's go within. Be it. If anything that doesn't feel like it's how you want it to be, let's go within. And you can constantly work on this being in your manifestation journey, in what you're manifesting. And the more, it's like putting the pieces of the puzzle. The more you put this piece and this piece and that piece and that piece, you just have the whole thing. Your being is like pieces of the puzzle. I show up this way, but you can uncover a belief. You're like, oh my God, I have this belief and I'm experiencing this all the time and it's not serving me. Let's go within. You change the belief and then you be the new belief. You don't just change the belief, you be it. That means how would you think, feel, and behave if your new belief was true? How would I think, feel, and behave if wherever I went, people said, I need it? I would say it confidently. I would scream out loud. And what I decided was, I'm being speaker in most of these events now because I want to scream from my rooftop. Why? Because I believe people need it. If you feel you're not doing the action, not hustling, I'm not talking about that kind of action, but you feel you're slowing down, there's a resistance, go within. Because action is a reflection of identity. Thinking is the reflection of identity. Feeling is the reflection of your identity. Everything is controlled by one thing. As you start to go within and go deeper and deeper, you might shift few identities in one go. You might shift one or two, you might shift four, you might close one and open another one. And that's how you do this identity work, like the puzzle. And as the pieces stick together, your outer reality is so different that you can't even recognize. You're like, whoa, can't imagine I'm living this.